Hello and happy Friday. I thought what we would do in today's video is give you a bit of an April garden tour, as well as give you an update on how all of the garden projects we've been doing together over the last couple of weeks are going. And I thought that we would just start over this side of the garden, which is sort of the potting shed, potting bench sort of area. Everything is looking incredible. But what I wanted to show you was just this little statue here with the portulaca in it. So we are afternoon here, which is why you can see some of the flowers are starting to close up now. They open in the sunlight. So this has been in here for probably 3 or 4 weeks now, and it is definitely loving life. Those flowers are absolutely gorgeous. And earlier in the day, this whole little plant is just covered in yellow flowers. But it's definitely been very happy. We've had trouble with this particular spot because it's quite a small pot. It does run dry. So we definitely needed something very hardy and that sort of was drought tolerant, and these portulaca have been doing really well in this kind of position. So that is looking great. So I thought I would just give you a quick update on that. As I said, it is a glorious day and it is currently afternoon. It's been a bit of an admin day today, lots of bits and pieces to get done. So I'm only sort of getting out here at this time. I think it's maybe 2-3 o'clock, something like that. But I thought I'd give you a little update into this corner. So we purchased, on one of our many trips to the garden centre, we purchased some more of the mini roses. And I'm just sort of letting you know where they ended up. I've got one here and I've got one in a pot up there. And so this particular corner has definitely become the little mini rose corner of the garden. This here is all mini roses, and these down here are their ground cover roses. They've all had a really good cutback, and hopefully you can see on this one, we've got lots of little buds starting to come up. So hopefully we'll get another flush of blooms in the next couple of weeks. But this whole area is looking really great. And I do love my mini roses, you all know that. Gosh, the sunlight, I'm blocking the light there. But everything up here in this sort of area is looking incredible. Really great. And also, to give you a bit of an update, you know, at the beginning of the year, I did a really, really hard cutback on these trees. On this one here, this one, and that one, and then the one behind. I just wanted to show you, look at all of this. This is all new growth. You'll remember, I think it was one of the first videos of the year that I did. This was all just tree limb, basically branches, and it was all bare. And now look at all of that leafage. And this one's the same, fully have just come out, as has that one. So they definitely liked their trim back. Sound of the water feature is so lovely. And so these here are actually just recent plants that I've popped in maybe a day or two ago, so they are still definitely getting established in their position here. So this pot, you know, has been empty for a little while. I had pansies in there, I think, for a few months, and then they eventually sort of went over. And so I've popped those yellow portulaca in there. They'll take a couple of days just to bed down, and then they should look really gorgeous. We've got the white of the star-cluster panthers through there. Little walkways looking incredible. All of this is all self-seeded, which is just crazy to me. Everything in here is looking really great. The weather today has just been, yeah, gorgeous. There's a really beautiful breeze. I've got all the windows open. Done loads of washing. Look at the bees. Can you see them? So just for those who might be new, these are Australian native stingless bees. And they just live here in their rescue hive in the garden. And they pollinate everything. I don't get honey or anything from them, but they just pollinate all the flowers. They have been here for, gosh, must be 4 years now maybe. Oof, look at all the weeds through there. I really need to get in there. The wisteria is looking incredible. So this is the little wisteria arch. And again, that's just one of those trees that I lopped at the beginning of the year. And look how bushy and full and lush it looks now. Oh, I'm very, very hopeful that in the next year or so we might actually start to get some blooms on the wisteria. I won't go up the pathway today. I don't want this video to be an hour-long video. Gosh, I don't know if it comes across on camera, but the hum of all of the bees and all of the dragonflies, and it's just butterflies everywhere, and it's crazy. And I also just wanted to show you the ginger and the turmeric in their two little pots there are doing so well. We generally get, I'll be doing a harvest of the ginger and turmeric around July-ish. I have used now all of my ginger and turmeric from last year, so we'll do a little harvest together. This cypress here has actually done so well. This was the one that got moved out of that really large, gorgeous cement pot, and I was kind of worried that I would lose it. I wasn't sure with these sorts of trees whether they like being moved. You know, like some trees just do not like to be moved. But I've been pleasantly surprised because it's doing really well. And I've been having a massive issue with this weed here. I'm not even sure what type of weed it is. So if you know what type of weed this sort of vine is, please let me know. And if you've ever had to deal with it before, how did you get rid of it? Because I do try and pull it out, but it just comes back. So it's definitely something I need to keep on top of. And you can see in here that it's really just blanketing this and kind of strangling these plants. So I'm definitely going to need to get into that tomorrow and try and pull those out. But gosh, it's just, yeah, everywhere. And I'm just not sure. Obviously, I don't want to spray any really hard sort of chemicals or anything in the garden. So I'm just trying to think of a way to kind of really knock it on its head so that it's not basically everywhere through the garden. Citrus are all looking good. I will say they are pretty unhappy at the moment. We have had some ridiculous amounts of rain, like unseasonable for us at this time of year. We've probably had, I reckon the last 5 weeks, it has rained heavy pretty much every day. And we've maybe had 1 or 2 days of sun. Even today, it rained earlier. And tomorrow they're forecasting rain, and I saw in the weather report they're saying there's a low pressure system somewhere and that we should be getting way more rain coming through. So the citrus have been very unhappy with that. So just trying to keep them really well pruned so that air can kind of circulate through and we can try and dry the soil out, because they generally do not like that amount of water. And I mean, I'm talking, we've been getting like 200 mils of rain, which is just wild for this time of year. Marigolds down here looking really gorgeous, as are the sun jewels. Again, the sun jewels flower in sunlight, and given that we are late afternoon now, you can see they're all just starting to close up for the day. They're closing up shop, but this little corner has just been such a delight. That colour is gorgeous, that really pale kind of peachy tone and yellow, absolutely stunning. Oh, plane going overhead. And would you take a look at these roses? Oh, they have just been doing the absolute most. I can actually see these roses from my bedroom, and the pink, I don't think it comes across on camera, but the pink and orange is so vibrant. It just, there's such a happy sort of color. And you can probably see there, we've got all little buds still coming out, similar to the other mini roses that I just showed you. Mini roses have just been doing so incredibly well. And just my cottage garden is quite small, as you know, so I definitely can't have, you know, heaps of rose bushes or anything. I do try and stick to my little mini roses. I mean, some of them, the smell, not all of them have a fragrance, but quite a few of the ones that I've got here in my garden have a really gorgeous fragrance. But they just look absolutely marvelous. Such just this gorgeous pop of color. And then just trying to pan slowly so I don't give anyone motion sickness. These star cluster, I think they're a star cluster panthers, looking absolutely gorgeous in there. They have really filled out this space. And then all of the ferns, all of these ferns are self-seeded. Crazy, absolutely crazy. And then I'll just shift position to show you. We planted the strawberries together in these hanging baskets last week. I think maybe it was only a week ago, but already they're doing so well. I've got all little runners. They've definitely bedded in really well. No flowers yet, but definitely very happy plants. So yeah, all of these ferns self-seeded. The pumpkin, my little experimental pumpkin, is also doing really well. I didn't know how it was going to go with the rain. You'll see in a moment, not all of the plants have loved the amount of rain we've had, but I've definitely got a lot of growth only in, as I said, I think we popped the vegetable seedlings and stuff in maybe 3 weeks ago now. So we've had a lot of growth in that time. And my plan for this is basically to run it up this post, if it is at all possible. We shall see. So I mentioned on Wednesday that the worm buffet is doing really well It's only been a few weeks, but I am very happy with it. I've been using it really regularly. There's no smell or anything, and the kitchen scraps that I'm popping in there have definitely been, you know, they're definitely being consumed by the worms and things because it's being broken down and that. So fingers crossed they are then transporting that through the rest of the bed. Now, one of kind of my first little failures, I would say, is the beetroots. So I popped all these beetroot seedlings in, and you can kind of see they have just been absolutely ravaged by caterpillars. So I have made up a little kind of mix of just water and like dish soap and white vinegar, just to hopefully make them unappetizing. So I may have to do a little trip to the garden centre, oh no, and pick up some more of the beetroot seedlings, and I also will need to start some more seeds. And then I also just wanted to show you, so one of my successes has been the new beetroot seeds that I trialed. So that is this kind of row here and down here. They've been doing really well. They all pretty much germinated and came up, which I'm very happy about. But you will remember I did plant a row of beetroot seedlings here, and that was from a packet of seeds I'd had for over a year or so, and they'd sort of been open and that not a single one of those germinated. I don't know if it's because of all the rain. Basically, the day after I think I got all of this in, that's basically when the rain started. And when I say like rain, like we got, in 2 days, I think we got 200 mils of rain. We were getting like 100 mils of rain a day, and I think maybe that was just maybe a little bit too much for the seedlings, but these ones definitely a success. So I might try, and in another video we might try and get some seedlings in here so I get that succession going. The brown onions are looking very, very small there, but they are doing well. The tomatoes are also doing really well. They've been loving the rain. But they all look really healthy. I've had a lot of growth on them. Obviously too little yet to get tomatoes, but hopefully in the next few sort of weeks or so we'll start to get flowers, and then we'll get some tomatoes. One of the other sort of, not necessarily, I wouldn't call it a failure, just something like a lesson that I have learned, is with the longevity spinach. So you'll remember I got these gifted from a friend who grows longevity spinach, and you're going to see here absolutely ravaged by caterpillars. The plants themselves are still really happy. Like, look at all this new growth. Like, all of them have brand new growth sort of coming through. You can see like even under here, all new leaves are coming through. So they're definitely still in here. They're still happy. But the caterpillars have just, goodness, it's quite late for us to be having this level of caterpillars. But as I said, I have made up a bit of a sort of natural spray, and I'm just going to really need to keep on top of spraying them to try, just hopefully it's only another couple of weeks before the colder weather kind of permanently sets in, and then we will not have caterpillars anymore. But yeah, so this is looking very sad because they were so healthy when I had them around the potting shed side. I guess because the caterpillars couldn't find them there, but yeah, it makes me very sad. I'd say caterpillars and also potentially grasshoppers. So hopefully with some care, they will bounce back and be very happy. Butterfly. The butterfly was a paid actor. The rosemary is looking really great. I've been harvesting off of that rosemary. The leeks, you will know I have been harvesting these leeks. So they're the original sort of set, and then I've got a little set here. I did find even with this set that the little baby seedlings, they just took so long to put on growth. So hopefully you can see them there. They will kind of establish and we'll get a nice little crop of leeks. While I'm at the garden centre picking up beetroots, I may also pick up some leeks. But one of my biggest successes has been these cucumbers. Do you remember, not 3 weeks ago, they were itty bitty little cucumbers just down here. That is all the growth in the last 3 weeks. And look at all of the flowers. Can you see all the little flowers in there? They are absolutely loving life. They have really done so well with all this rain. Like you can see the little baby cucumbers starting. Obviously no fully grown ones yet, but the growth they have put on, it's unbelievable. In 3 weeks. That's like 50 centimeters of growth. But yes, very, very happy with that. So hopefully I will be harvesting my own cucumbers in a matter of weeks. Spring onions are looking great. They always do so well. Always very happy with that crop. And you know, I planted some little spring onion seedlings here and they're all doing really well. They'll just take a few months to grow to this kind of size, but I'm still eating this crop and they're doing really well. Very, very happy with that. But yeah, gosh, look at them. Look at that. Is that not incredible? Like, that's crazy. In 3 weeks, from a little tiny seedling, all of that growth. Blows me away. So yeah, definitely a few little, not failures. I shouldn't say failure. Definitely some lessons learned. I really need to make sure I'm keeping on top of the caterpillars. In my defense, it has been very difficult because of the amount of rain we've had. So even if I'd been spraying this with my sort of vinegar and dish soap solution, it literally just rains and it just washes it straight off. So it has been very challenging weather conditions. And yeah, it's just super interesting that this whole row here of beetroots didn't come up, beetroot seeds. So maybe they just were too old, those seeds, unfortunately. But otherwise, very, very happy with where I'm at. And very hopeful we will get some delicious produce. Now the other little thing that I wanted to show you, please ignore all the weeds. As I said, we've just had so much rain and so I've not really had a chance to get out much into the garden with all of the rain and the wild weather we've been having. I think I'm definitely going to have to pull out this little, I keep going to call it a foxtail. I sort of affectionately call it a foxtail, but it's definitely not called that. I'll pop the correct name on screen. But it's really aggressive in this bed and it's really smothering a lot of the other plants. So I'm trying to shift myself so that I'm not blocking the sunlight. It's very aggressive. So I'm thinking what might have to happen is this will get pulled up and then this ground cover here, I'll let that kind of continue through. You know how much I love a ground cover. It is my top tip for suppressing the weeds. And if you can get a really pretty little ground cover like this one, you are just, I mean, look at these little flowers. It's called like a creeping viola, I'm pretty sure. I'll pop the correct name on screen. But look at these little flowers. I mean, I love these little foxtails as well, But yeah, it's so aggressive and it just smothers the plants. Look how cute they are. Such dainty little blooms. But you do get quite a good carpet of blooms as well, and the leaves themselves are very pretty. Like that leaf structure is really gorgeous. So I will definitely be planting these I'm pretty sure it's a creeping viola. I will definitely be planting them in other areas where I kind of just need that weed suppression. Y'all know I'm all about low maintenance gardening. Now the other little area I just wanted to show you very quickly was this one here. So last week we potted up the lemon balm and some snack capsicums, as well as this sort of pest control herb right next to this established snack capsicum little bush. And you can see on here already, like we've got little red capsicums. I've got a bunch of green ones to harvest. It's just incredible. I've got more up there to harvest. But I'm so excited. Can you see? I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Look! Little baby lemon balm. I had really worried with all the rain that we got that it might just be too much for the little seeds, but we have definitely getting what I believe to be little lemon balm plants coming up. Oh, I'm so hopeful that they are. Makes me so happy when you see the little sprouts come out. This one here, it's a plant that does not like a lot of rain or water or anything, so it has not been loving all this rain we've been having. But I mean, it seems okay. This is the pyrethrum, which is the pest control. So you can make your own sort of natural pest control once it flowers. So again, a little experiment. I've never grown it before. And fingers crossed that it gets nice and bushy and we get some actual flowers that I can make up sort of a bit of a spray. That would definitely help me with the caterpillar situation. And then very sadly, in this pot here, we planted up the snack capsicum seeds. And as yet, I cannot see any little sproutlings, which is very sad. But it has only sort of been kind of a week, so maybe they need a little bit more time. And as I said, maybe it's just been a little bit wet. We have had a ridiculous amount of rain, so I don't know if that would have rotted the seeds. So I might just give it maybe another week or so, and then if nothing comes up, I might try and sprout the snack capsicum seeds inside first and see if I can get little sprouts from them and then plant them. We shall see. But very, very happy with what is going on in this little area. Oh, my little lemon balm. Very exciting. Gosh. Those cucumbers are an absolute triumph. Look at them. I just cannot get over them. This is crazy. Absolutely. And I was so worried that the cold would kind of get them. It's not super cold here at the moment, and we have, as I said, had very unseasonable weather for this time of year. So maybe they're just obviously loving life. Well, I think that is going to be it from me for today. I hope you've just liked, it's probably quite a quick video potentially. I have tried to be really succinct with my updates, so just give you a really quick overview of all the little projects we've been doing. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed kind of seeing how everything's going, what what things have worked, what things I've learned at the moment. And yeah, I am very, very happy with how everything is going. I wouldn't mind going to the garden centre and getting some more beetroots and some more leeks, and then also starting some more beetroot seeds as well. So we'll probably do that together in a future video. But that is going to be all from me. I hope you have really enjoyed spending the time with me today. I hope you have an incredible weekend or rest of your week whenever you're watching this. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.